to hug you? Just hug you?
All right, good evening. Thank you for coming. We can squeeze in over here if you need a seat still.
I got you.
This meeting is also being live streamed on YouTube, and it's also being recorded, so you can find that later if you miss anything. My name is Matt Smith. I'm the principal here at Fallen Timbers Middle School. I have worked with Camp Machindo for a number of years, as well as my previous school. They do an amazing job, so I'm excited to present to you kind of what we do with the sixth graders when it is their turn to go to camp. I'm going to turn it over to Camp Machindo's camp director. This is Bethany Colmorgan. She'll tell you a little bit about camp, and then later on we'll introduce Robin Fritz, who is our sixth grade camp director here at the middle school.
Sweet. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet of you. You don't have to do that. Hey guys, my name is Bethany. I am the director of the outdoor education program at Machindo. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Machindo, a little bit about our program. It'll be like 1-2 hours tops tonight. That's a joke. Okay. Machindo. Machindo is actually a funny word. It's not a real word. What we did is we took 3 abbreviations of states and we smushed them all together. So M-I-C-H for Michigan, I-N-D for Indiana, and then O-H, yeah, for the great state of Ohio. I actually grew up not too far from here, a little town, you might have heard of it, Toledo. So I love it when like Toledo area schools come to camp. It's so much fun. Sometimes I see familiar faces. People are like, oh my gosh, I know you. You used to work at Chick-fil-A. I did used to work at Chick-fil-A. So that kind of stuff is a lot of fun. But I made my way up to Machindo, which is actually located in Michigan. It's in Hillsdale, Michigan. So when you're looking at the weather for when your child goes to camp, Hillsdale, Michigan is going to be the most accurate weather forecast. There are no hills in Hillsdale, Michigan. Don't ask me why it's called Hillsdale. But that, again, is going to be your most accurate weather forecast. I will talk about what to bring in just a second. Machindo has 250 acres of land, and your students are going to get to run around and explore about 200 of those acres. Now, they're not going to be like running laps or anything like that. No, no, no. But a good pair of walking shoes is going to be key because the only mode of transportation is your 2 feet and a heartbeat, okay? And again, we'll talk about that in just a second. A couple of reasons of why we do camp. A lot of students ask me, a lot of people in general ask me, why do we go to camp? Why is it important for me to go to camp? Why is it a part of school? I have 3 main reasons for you. All right, reason number 1, we want to further our education. We are an outdoor education school program. So we want the kids to be learning something. Now, this is a little bit different than regular school. We don't sit at desks or fill out papers or anything like that. We are very hands-on, very interactive, very team building to the core at Machindo. We do still call all of our activities classes that the students take, but again, they're a little more hands-on, a little more interactive. Here's a good example. At school, students learn about reptiles and amphibians. They look up all of these facts in a textbook, maybe they look up a video online, things like that, right? Similarities, differences, characteristics. At Machindo, we have an entire building with live reptiles and amphibians, animals that the students can hold or touch in their hands while we learn about those animals, similarities, differences, characteristics. So it's a little different. Said, we're not at a desk, but we are having a turtle or a snake right there in front of our eyes. Now, along with learning new things, I always like to pause right here and do sort of like a disclaimer. Some people, I see all of your faces. Some people heard me say live animals, and your face was like, whoa, that's awesome. They get to hold live animals. Great, come on to camp, it'll be awesome. Some people, when I said live animals, you were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to hold live animals. No, no, no. I want to be very clear that Moshindo is a safe place to try something new or take a step out of your comfort zone, but never is anyone forced to do anything that they don't want to do or that they are uncomfortable with. If you are deathly afraid of turtles, I will not be placing a turtle in your lap and saying, look, you're learning. That's not how that works. That's not how it works. My staff will encourage you to maybe pet its shell or just wave to it as it goes by. Nobody is forced to do anything that they don't want to do or something that makes them uncomfortable. That's not how we learn. That's not how we learn. You're encouraged to do so, but never forced. So I always take a quick time out there just to make sure everybody's on the same page. So first reason we come to camp, we want to learn new stuff, right? Sometimes we even relearn stuff that we already know. Reason number 2 that we go to camp is we want to live respectfully and responsibly with others. Your students are going to be in a cabin with other students and an adult, and they're going to work together as a team, and they're going to live together in the same room, right? Sometimes tensions can rise. Sometimes somebody pulls their whole suitcase in and throws their underwear everywhere. That happens. We want to avoid that at all costs. So we want to be respectful of other people's personal space, right? Everybody's got a bubble, don't pop it. But being respectful of others just in general, being responsible for your own actions, your own words. All of the school rules here at Fallen Timbers still apply at Camp Moshindo, okay? So we don't step on the grounds and go, woohoo, no rules. No, no, no. You're still respectful, you're still responsible, all that jazz. So we want to, again, live respectfully, responsibly with others. The third reason that we do camp is we like to set goals. Every single class that we have is set up so that kids can set goals. And I don't care if you achieve your goal. All I want you to do is try your best. Here's a good example of this one. We have a 30-foot indoor rock climbing wall that the students will get a chance to climb. Now, the Moshindo staff facilitate this. We go over all of the safety instructions. We go over all of the equipment. We go over everything we got to go over. And then we ask the student, what's your name? What's your goal? Every single kid has a different goal because every single kid is different. So some kids might say, woo, my goal is to get to the top. Awesome, do your best. Some kids might say, my goal is about halfway. Awesome, do your best. Some kids might say, my goal is to stay on the ground. Okay, awesome. However, my encouragement would be to, hey, how about take one step out of your comfort zone? I think we can all agree maybe one step off the ground is pretty easy, maybe 2 steps. But if they're like, you know what, I don't think I can do it. I tried a little bit, I'm ready to come down. Awesome, you did your best. I don't care if you got your goal or not. I just want you to try something new. That's really all it is. I could stand here and go through all the classes with you if you'd like. No, I'm just kidding, I won't do that. But every single class that we have at Moshindo, you can set a tiny little goal and just try your best. Try something new. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience for a lot of kids. So it's good to be encouraging, never pushy, never forceful, but just to try something new. So those are the overarching reasons of why we do our outdoor education program and why so many schools come for it. Just to have that outdoor, that once-in-a-lifetime, that hands-on experience. And I can tell you a million more reasons why I think camp is important, but we all got lives to live, we got dinner to eat, so I'm gonna keep it rolling. Couple things I wanna point out about the packing list. Okay, this is kind of like a do's and don'ts of what to bring, what to leave at home. Each student is going to be limited to 2 items of luggage. That is because they are responsible for carrying their luggage from the drop-off point all the way to their cabin. Some of the cabins are close. Some of them are not so close. So being able to carry their luggage all the way to the cabin is going to be key. Let me tell you what goes in each one, all right? The first one, that can be a suitcase, it can be a duffel bag, It can have wheels. That's totally fine, right? Loophole. That way you can carry it, right? Everything that they're going to need for their stay at camp is going to go in the suitcase. This is going to be clothing-wise. So, an outfit for each day, some extra clothes on top of that. I encourage layers, especially the times that your students are coming. It could be cold, it could be warm, it could be snowing, knock on wood, okay? But we want to be prepared for the weather. So if you look at the weather and you're like, woo, shorts and t-shirts, awesome. Also pack sweatpants and sweatshirts, just in case. You never know. Our activities go until 9 p.m., so it tends to get a little chillier outside. They will have to walk outside to get to their cabin. So an extra jacket or pair of sweatpants is going to be extra helpful for that. Socks and underwear for the week. I gotta say it, some kids forget their underwear. Don't be that guy. Don't forget your underwear, okay? Maybe an extra pair, just to be safe. Some sort of pajamas, jammies, something to sleep in. If your child sleeps naked, you're gonna wanna change that because they're gonna be in a room with a bunch of other people, okay? Awkward. So making sure they have something to sleep in. Any toiletries. So these are the things that they use in the bathroom, right? Anything to shower with. Body soap, hair soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. I know we're going camping, but we don't want to smell like the outdoors that much. So just help us out, help the teachers out, pack your child some deodorant, that would be awesome. If your student forgets any of those things, toiletries-wise, we do have extras at Machindo, and we can lend them out. Actually, you know what? I'll give them out. I don't want your kids' deodorant back. But I have extras on hand just in case they forget those things. All those toiletries, a lot of people like to just pack them in their own little bag. That way they can take it to the bathroom and then take it all back. Works like that. A towel for showering as well. If you'd like to have shower shoes, that's totally fine, like Crocs, flippy flops. Those are great shower shoes, in the cabin shoes. Outside the cabin, no Crocs, no flippy flops. Those are in the cabin shoes. And I'll tell you what, I love Crocs just as much as every single one of your kids. I promise you that. But I don't wear them around camp. We have lots of trails, lots of mulch, lots of dirt. I'd hate to get a rock in my Croc. So wear those in the cabin, Outside the cabin, tennis shoes are perfect. You don't necessarily need hiking boots. If you have a good pair of walking boots, that's totally fine. But tennis shoes are gonna be key because like I said, we do a lot of walking around camp, to and from point A to point B, you're walking. All that stuff, like I said, can be packed in a suitcase. Zip that bad boy up, write your kid's name and school on it, maybe like a piece of duct tape or something so they know which one's theirs. There you go, one piece of luggage. The other piece of luggage is going to be any bedding that your child will need. We have twin-size mattresses. We provide a bed for every student, but it's easier if they bring their own from-home comforting bedding with them. That can be as simple as a sleeping bag and pillow. Those fit perfectly on our mattresses, and they're super easy for the kid to jump in, jump out each night, each morning, and then roll it up when they're done. If you don't have a sleeping bag, that's okay. Grab a couple of blankets, roll them up to look like a sleeping bag, right? And then you can pack that as well. So sleeping bag, pillow, maybe an extra blanket. If your child needs a teddy bear or squishmallow to get through the night, that totally works. Please only send one teddy bear or squishmallow. A lot of kids have Squishmallow Mountain on their bed at home. Have them pick just one to come to camp. All that bedding, that's a lot to squish into a suitcase. So pull out a nice clean garbage bag and shove all that in there. It's easy for the kid to carry it. It's also weather resistant. So if it happens to be raining on the day that you guys come to camp or the day that you leave camp, that way no one's bedding is getting all soggy and wet and ruined because nobody wants to sleep in a damp bed. So a garbage bag is perfect. Also making sure your child knows which garbage bag is theirs. If every kid here sent a black garbage bag with no name, I would have a fist fight. So we don't want fist fights. We want people sleeping in good beds. So again, that fun duct tape, write your kid's name in school. Some people put like stickers all over theirs. My mom, she did like a bright pink bow on mine. Everybody was like, oh, hilarious. And I said, oh, hilarious, I know which one's mine, huh? So any way that your kid can know which garbage bag is theirs, that's gonna be nice and key for that. Highly recommended to label everything that your child owns with a Sharpie, even down to the underwear. Some kids lose their underwear. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they lose their underwear. So you can label that. If you want it back, I would recommend labeling it. Another thing to consider, some kids, this is a good test of children being independent. So if your child is feeling ambitious and they want to pack themselves, maybe hover over them so that they get all of the stuff that they need. If you're going to pack for them, make sure that they're around. They're hovering over you so they know what's in their bag. I can't tell you how many times I've held up a sweatshirt that has a kid's name on it, and he goes, I've never seen that before in my life. Dude, it's got your name on it. Oh no, take it home to your mom, please. So, making sure that everyone's on the same page of what we're bringing. Now, a couple things to leave at home. A couple of things. Number one is going to be any electronics. That includes cell phones, Nintendo Switch, smartwatch, stuff like that. Camp is very much a learning environment, so the students don't need them here at school, so they will not need them at camp. If we have any sort of way that we need to contact you, it'll go through the teachers. I have teachers from your school on grounds the entire time your students are on grounds. So we got eyes on them at all times. If we need to contact you, we will go through the proper channels. We also don't have any time in the day to be on our cell phones. There's no TikTok time carved out in the day. I'm really sorry. I'm sad about it too, but we'll go outside and play extra. We are busy. We start at 7:30 every morning raising the flag, and then we have meals and classes and activities and games and evening programs, and we have to shower and get ready for bed and jump into bed, and lights out and quiet is at 10 p.m. So we are doing activities all day. So here, you don't need your cell phone. You're not even gonna miss it. We wanna make sure that we're learning, we're getting to know each other, and we're just having some fun while we're at camp. So leave those electronics at home. Another thing to leave at home would be any candy or snacks. You'll hear it in the video, but those attract unwanted critters to our cabins. Now, they're nice cabins, but they're still in the woods. So if the raccoons smell your Skittles, they're gonna wanna get inside. So leave those at home. We are what feels like constantly eating here at camp. Every single meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, is served buffet style. So the kids can eat as much as they want. Now, we do practice portion control. So when the kids go through the buffet line, there's a lot of good stuff on there. There's like a full salad bar. We got a bunch of fresh veggies. We got a bunch of hot food, right? You might see mac and cheese, and you're like, oh my gosh, mac and cheese, I gotta get a whole plate of mac and cheese. And they just scoop and scoop and scoop. And then you move down the line and you're like, oh man, tater tots. Oh, having room on my plate for tater tots. I'll make room on top of the mac and cheese. Okay, yep. And then you move on even more and you're like, chicken patty sandwiches. Oh man, well, I guess I'll get 2 of those too. And it's like, okay, hold on, time out. This is a buffet, so you can go back for more. So each time we go through the line, maybe you take 1 scoop of mac and cheese. If your tummy's feeling fine, you can get another scoop, right? Maybe like 4 or 5 tater tots, 1 chicken patty sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So we practice portion control. We make sure that everybody gets enough to eat, but nobody's getting mac and cheese mountain on their plate. However, like I said, we are constantly eating, so those snacks are definitely not necessary. Even before we send them off to bed, we send them with a snack. Here you go. Have a snack and go sleep. So the students are well fed. You don't need to send any extra snacks with them. Last thing that I want to talk about, to leave at home. This one is like a hear me out, but I gotta say it. We do a lot of activities, and you'll see a lot of activities in the video. Things like archery, or fishing, or throwing a football around, playing basketball, stuff like that. Sometimes students see those things, and they go, oh, well, we're gonna go fishing. I should bring my fishing pole. No, okay? I'm gonna put that right now. Don't bring your own fishing pole, okay? The last thing I need is some kid in the cabin going, well, I just gotta hook up my, no, you don't, okay? Leave your equipment at home. Even things like footballs, basketballs, I got them. Footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, frisbees, soccers, I got them all, okay? Any equipment that we need, I will have it at camp, okay? Please don't bring your bow and arrow in the cabin. No bueno, not at all, okay? On that note, I'm actually gonna push play on the video for right now. After the video, I'm gonna come back and talk a little more. I promise it's almost over. I like to talk about the health form, medications, and health procedures at the very end, just so everybody's crystal clear on the same page. So, I'm gonna be right back. Push this play. Oh, you're gonna push play? She's gonna push play. Give it up for her, yes, okay. Do I have to do anything with the microphone? Yeah, that's fair. Oh, she needs this. Got it. I won't talk. This one? You need this one too.
Mishindo Outdoor Education School is located in Hillsdale, Michigan. Situated on 250 forested acres containing streams, wetlands, and a 25-acre spring-fed lake which is utilized year-round. Mishindo's programs and facilities provide the perfect place and opportunity to explore nature and learn about ourselves and others. Upon arriving, students are greeted by a full-time resident staff of dedicated instructors. Each has been selected because of their commitment to outdoor education and are trained to instruct in science, recreational activities, cultural histories, and team-building experiences. The staff and school teachers work as a team. Together, they strive to provide the best possible environment for each individual student and the group as a whole. After meeting the Mishindo staff and unloading the buses, students are given their cabin assignments. These assignments are arranged by your own school teachers, and each cabin group has a cabin leader chosen by your school. The cabin leaders arrive the previous day and are trained by the Mishindo staff and ready for the arrival of students. They live in the cabins with the students and take them from one activity to the next, all while participating with the students and being part of the camp experience. The students then pick up their luggage and move into their cabins. The cabins are divided into two areas, one for the boys and one for the girls. Each cabin has 12 to 14 bunks, carpeted floors, heat, electrical outlets, and its own indoor bathroom, complete with private shower stalls. After moving into the cabins, students meet together for a quick orientation to explain the rules and expectations for the week. Students are responsible for their own behavior. All of the normal school rules are still in effect, plus a few additional ones, to ensure a safe and enjoyable learning experience for everyone.
No threatening. No fighting. No disrespecting. Your cabin is your home for this week. Only the people who live in your home are allowed in your home. You must stay with your group at all times and obey your leader.
Do not bring candy, gum, or munchies to camp.
Because you do not want to attract unwanted critters to your cabin.
No medication, no Band-Aids, no cough drops, and no first aid supplies of any kind.
All medications are turned in upon arrival and then distributed by Mishindo's resident health officer according to the information provided by the student's health form. Mishindo's well-equipped health center, staffed by the health officer, is open 24 hours a day. If any major emergencies occur, the Hillsdale Community Health Center is only 5 miles away. Your school teacher or representative will be informed of any health problems or concerns regarding their students. After orientation, students go on a quick walking tour of the grounds so they will know where the important things are, like the dining room, gym, nature center, health office, and flagpole meeting area. A day of outdoor education begins at 6:30 a.m. Each of the cabin leaders has an alarm clock and will wake up the students. They will have 1 hour to get up, get ready, and get the cabins cleaned. Cleaning the cabins includes sweeping the floor, making the beds, putting belongings in their place, wiping sinks and mirrors, and turning out the lights. At 7:30, all of the campers will meet at the flagpole. One cabin will have the rotating responsibility of raising the flag. Because the local weather can vary greatly from one day to the next, and because this is outdoor education, students are required to bring plenty of warm clothes, rain gear such as a poncho or coat, 2 pairs of shoes, and preferably a pair of boots. Lots of layers and changes of dry clothing are important so that everyone will be comfortable and able to participate in all of the daily activities. Also during flag raising, another group will go to the dining room to set tables for the meal. They will have 15 minutes to get tables ready by 7:45 when everyone arrives for breakfast. There is no assigned seating for any meals. This service is buffet style. Meals are an excellent opportunity to encourage good social skills and manners by using the words please and thank you. Students are allowed to eat as much as they would like, but do not have to eat foods they do not like. Healthy menus are geared toward 5th and 6th graders with plenty of variety so that everyone can find something they like to eat. Cold cereal is always available at breakfast, and a fruit and salad bar is always available at lunch and dinner. At the end of each meal, students are responsible to clear their own tables. Students then attend classes previously selected by their teachers until lunch at 11:45, and then again after lunch. The classes the students attend are not typical school classes. Some of these classes might include aquatic life, reptiles and amphibians, creepy critters, flow challenge course, a team building activity, wild mammals, outdoor living skills, where you can build a shelter and a one-match fire, tie-dye, Michigan Settlers, a role-playing class where you learn what was needed to settle in as a family in a new territory, or Pioneer Craft Fair and Living History, a hands-on experience to life in the Michigan Territory in 1835. When all these classes are over for the day, it's afternoon activity time, where each student can choose from a variety of supervised activities to participate in. Some might enjoy an indoor activity such as dodgeball, crafts, basketball, handball, or for the more adventuresome, climbing the 30-foot rock climbing wall. If an indoor activity does not appeal to the student, seasonal outdoor activities might include an organized large group game, such as Gold Rush or Capture the Fish, archery, sledding, fishing, nature art, and many others. At 5 o'clock, it's time to prepare for dinner. Students are given 15 minutes to clean up and meet at the flagpole for flag lowering at 5:15. Afterwards, everyone heads to the dining room for dinner. Each night after dinner, the staff will have a different evening program planned. It might be a night hike where students will learn about nocturnal animals or possibly stars in the night sky, a campfire where they will sing fun songs and tell stories, a game of wolf pack where you act as a pack of wolves to find the missing wolf. The Wacky Olympics are a blast, completing the different activities. Or a skit night where students and staff join together to provide entertainment for each other, or a square dance. But whatever activities planned, the students are sure to have a good time. An evening snack is also included as part of the night's activities. At 9 p.m., students head back to the cabins to shower and prepare for bed. Lights out is at 10 p.m. to ensure a good night's sleep before another full day of activities. As students depart Mishindo, it is our hope that each student has learned something new, made new friends, gained a new respect for nature, and a new appreciation for themselves and others. Mishindo Outdoor Education School offers students unique, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience real learning in the classroom of the outdoors.
pause for dramatic effect. Okay, so hopefully you got a little bit, I'm not gonna hold this, that's gonna be obnoxious. Here we go. Hopefully you got a little bit of a visual of what camp is all about. You saw the lake and you saw it all, right? It's right there. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the health form, medications, health procedures real quick. The health form, that is your child's ticket to Machindo. Everybody's got to have a health form filled out, turned back in. We get those a little bit in advance so that we can go over them and make sure that we are well prepared for any medical issues or for any food allergies. You can please fill that out with as much detail as you'd like. That way we can best care for your child while they're at camp. Now, that does not put you in the dark. If we have questions, we will reach out. So making sure that an accurate name and phone number for the emergency contact is going to be key. We make all of our decisions with the teachers. Your teachers will know what's going on with all the kids. If we need to reach out, we will. So filling that out, even just how they deal with headaches, right? It helps if you give them some water. Cool, we love water at camp. We want to hydrate for sure. Next, when it comes to sending medications, there are some medications you send, some that you can leave at home, things like that. When you're going camping, a lot of people are like, ooh, I gotta pack a first aid kit. That is not the case here at Machindo. So things like Band-Aids, cough drops, even like ibuprofen, Tylenol, stuff like that, you do not need to send that. We have health officers on call, and they are trained for first aid, AED, CPR, stuff like that. So if your child scrapes their knuckles playing gaga ball, we can bandage them up. We do not want the students trying to triage each other, right? Like, oh, my uncle taught me, he did this in the war. No, okay? We will make sure that your child is taken care of while they are at camp. That health form, again, is gonna be helpful for knowing, if they can have Band-Aids. It sounds silly, I know, but we wanna make sure that we are, again, best caring for your child. We have a stash of even common over-the-counter medications. So unless your child takes it on a regularly scheduled basis, you do not need to send it. Now, if your child takes medication on a regularly scheduled basis, there are some rules that we have to follow. These are gonna sound very nitpicky, but we are in Michigan, so I have to follow Michigan state rules, okay? Don't look at me like that. I know we're in Ohio right now, but I have to follow the Michigan rules. Any medication that is sent does have to come in its original container. So the bottle or the box or the bag that it came in, it does have to have your child's name and the appropriate dosage on it. Our health officers are trained to do what is written in the directions. So I know some doctors are like, here's your prescription, and it says take one every morning, but they say take one every night. They can do that, they're doctors, whatever, right? We cannot do that unless we have a doctor's note with a doctor's signature, which is just a scribble. If there are any doctors in here, I'm so sorry if I'm offending you. But we wanna make sure that we follow all the rules. So if the bottle does not match what your child needs to do for administration, please make sure that we have a doctor's signature for that. Now, when it comes to, again, over-the-counter medications, maybe they take an allergy medicine every day. Well, I know that your child's name is not Benadryl. I get that. Please, if you can, write on the bottle their name and school, and we will treat that as maybe a prescription medication or things like that. Even if it's just in case, sometimes prescription medicine is sent just in case maybe they get a headache or things like that. So those kind of things are able to be sent, again, if it's on a regularly scheduled basis. We also treat things like supplements and vitamins as medication, mostly because we don't want the kids to have them in the cabin. Maybe they spill or they get misplaced, or they get to the last day and they're like, oh man, I was supposed to take my vitamins every day and I didn't, oops. So we treat those like medications. A lot of times on the bottles of those, it says for adults only. I see this big in melatonin. I'm gonna let you know we do not hold on to melatonin. We don't keep a stash of that. If your child needs melatonin, that would be something that you need to send, but make sure on the bottle it says it's for children. Or you have a doctor's note saying that your child can have this adult medication. Like I said, sounds really nitpicky, I apologize, but I do have to follow protocol and state rules. Any medication that you send is going to be sent in like a Ziploc bag with your child's name and school. You hear me say that a lot. Label everything with your child's name and school. Medications get turned in to the teacher on the day that you leave for camp. So please don't put it in suitcases or coat pockets or anything like that. That's gonna go to the teacher. They transport it to camp. We get it at camp. We organize it at camp. We put it in a cute little cup with your kid's name on it and give it to them at the appropriate time. Again, that way your student doesn't have to worry about it. It's not in the cabin or it's not misplaced or anything like that. So those are the rules that we have to follow, the protocols that we have to follow when it comes to medication. With all good rules, there are exceptions. If your child has an inhaler, an asthma inhaler, or an EpiPen, if they are diabetic, if they have some sort of life-saving device, they are allowed to keep that on their person, okay? They can bring like a little drawstring backpack, right? Anybody can bring a drawstring backpack as long as you are responsible for it. But EpiPens, inhalers, we want them to have those if they need it. Now, we can hold on to them with the health officer. Just call the health officer up. They got their little golf cart, beep, beep, here you go. But making sure that, again, they have their name and school on that device in case they were to need it. But those are the exceptions, those life-saving devices. If they would like to, if they're feeling confident and responsible to carry those with them, we want them to have them on their person in case they need to use them. I know with medications, medical supplies, food allergies, things like that, those tend to draw very specific questions, and I get that. I would love to answer every single one of your questions. Now, I'm actually going to turn it over to Mrs. Fritz, and I'm going to thank you for your time, but if you have questions after, I'll be available for that as well. Thank you, Ms. Fritz. Got you, girl. This is so not flattering doing that.
All right, so I am Robin Fritz. I am the person in charge here at Fort Camp Meshendo at FT. I'm also in charge of hiring all of the wonderful cabin leaders that will be going with your students. So I wanted you to be aware that those students are juniors and seniors from our high school that have to apply, and they have to write an essay, and they have to meet some qualifications in order to be able to go with us. So I'm in the process of interviewing them, reading all those applications, and choosing the best candidates that I think are going to be able to go with us. So every cabin will have a leader from our high school with them, and those cabin leaders are in charge of taking them everywhere. They're with them nonstop. I told the students today that they're not with them for 1 hour of the day. We give the cabin leaders 1 hour break, and that's from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock every day. So the cabin leaders can maybe go take a nap or go get a shower or something. And that hour of the day is when the Camp Meshendo staff is in charge of our kids doing their free time activities, where they're all over the place enjoying camp as it should be. Okay, so cabin leaders are in the process of being made, and hopefully we get a good stash of them. With the medicines, as she mentioned, you will be putting your child's medications in those Ziploc baggies. Mrs. Babrick will be at drop-off when we are having you drop your children off. You will have a place to put their medication with her, and she'll double-check everything is labeled before we send it up. And then I will take it with me. I will be a teacher will drive medications up to try to get them to her as soon as we can get them there. So for a drop-off day, whatever day your child is expected to go to camp on that first day, they need to arrive at school via a car, somebody's vehicle. because we don't want them to ride the bus that day. We would like them to bring their things with you or someone responsible with them. And then we'll have a bus designated just for their luggage. So that'll be the first thing you'll want to do, is walk the luggage to the luggage bus and help get that loaded onto those luggage buses. Your child won't need anything for the bus ride unless they do want to have one of those sling backpacks. Maybe throw a book in there. I've suggested maybe even some like Sudoku books or, things like that. Things that they may want to do for their car ride, or maybe even a little activity they could do quietly trying to go to sleep at night. Those are good things to kind of carry around with them. They could keep that with them on the bus, but all the other major luggage is going to go on the luggage buses. We like to have the luggage buses loaded first because we send those first to camp. And all the cabin leaders will already be at camp, and they will be there to unload your kids' luggage. But again, they're just going to lay it out on the cement, and your kids got to know what they brought. So they have everything labeled, have it marked very obvious that, oh yeah, that's mine, I did the blue ribbon or whatever. So make it obvious for your child to know which is theirs, because they will be responsible to find it in the pile and take it with them for the day of when they get to move into their cabin. Okay? So bring them, and then they'll check in with their teachers, and then they'll stand with their teachers waiting for us to load the actual buses that will take us to Camp Machindo. It takes our buses about an hour and 15 minutes to get there. Kids usually have a blast on that car and that little ride there. They're always worried about what am I going to do? Well, you don't have a phone. Yeah, they do fine, I promise you. They have a great time. And then when we return from camp, we will bring them back on Friday, whatever day they come back, Wednesday or Friday. We will ask that you also pick them up that day. So they should return to school around the 1:30 time at the latest, but they will pick us up at Camp Machindo around noon. We will have already fed them breakfast and lunch, and they will already have had 2 classes that day, but then they'll come home and you'll pick them up with their luggage, and then you can take them home for that day. They do not have to stay any longer for school that day. Okay, so that's a little bit about drop off and pick up. Am I forgetting anything else? Okay, and if anybody does have any paperwork today, you're welcome to leave it with us, or you're welcome to send it with your child tomorrow. If you did not get any paperwork, or you don't know about these medical forms that Bethany has been talking about, I have a stack of them up here if you would like to grab one before you leave. And as always, if you have any questions for any of us, we'll stick around. Otherwise, if I'm done, you're done. Okay, thank you so much for coming tonight, and we look forward to having camp be a great success.